So this is Louis, and I'm going to be talking to you about Joker with minor spoilers. I'm going to contain myself to a couple spoilers. I'll start by saying, go see this film. That's where we'll begin here. Go see the film. Absolutely. Is this a 10 out of 10? No. We'll get to some of the issues it has as a movie, in my view. But is it the best movie I've seen this year? Yeah. Is this the best portrayal of the Joker? In a realist sense, if that's what you want, if you like gritty, if you like realism, yes. If you like DC, if you like the universe, I would say Heath Ledger still holds the title for best Joker. If you like camp, then you like Jack Nicholson. But in terms of the best Joker, in my view, what encapsulates the Joker, I have to give it to Heath Ledger. But Phoenix, great, yes, great performance, great as the character, great as Arthur turning into the Joker, great. So go see the film. Absolutely go see it. If you're on the fence, I recommend you go see the film. Especially, and here, this is not a spoiler, at the end of the movie, Joker is on the set with Robert De Niro. This is in the film. It's in the trailers. This is in the trailers, so we already know what happens. By the way, trailers, wow, come on. Way too much of the movie shown in the trailers. Way too much of the movie is shown in the trailers. Way too much. I have no idea what they were thinking when doing those trailers. You can predict the entire movie based off the trailers. So, guys, come on. What the fuck? Why are the trailers so forthcoming with information? But at the end of the movie, Joker's on the set with Robert De Niro. And it's a very tense scene. And I'm obviously not going to spoil it. But Joker goes on a fucking rant that is unreal. Okay? I'm telling you, if for nothing else, go see this movie to listen to that fucking rant. And the question I have for you, this is not a rhetorical question. Okay? How the fuck did that rant get past the studio in 2019? In the progressive age in which we all live. By the way, the reporters, the journos, they were fucking right about this movie. They were fucking right about this movie. Okay? That rant is a fucking, log-sized fucking black pill. Holy shit. How did this movie ever see the light of day? How did the studio put this in theaters? It is unfucking real. Not to say that I don't like it. No, I absolutely like it. How did they do it? Because I guarantee you, every fucking executive at that studio, every executive at DC is no longer invited to Al Gore's dinner party. They're no longer invited to the next, Democrat convention. They're not invited to the next, wine and cheese party at their, Hollywood friend's house. Todd Phillips, I'm going to be surprised if he has a career in Hollywood anymore. Whoever wrote that fucking line and that rant in this film, I'll be surprised if they ever get work in Hollywood again. Okay? That fucking rant is the biggest fucking black pill I have seen in a fucking movie in a long time. Oh my god. So yeah, for no other reason but that rant, go see this fucking movie at the end. Oh my god, the journals were fucking right. Wow, man. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I am not exaggerating an iota. If you've seen the movie, and don't spoil it. I'm going to delete any comments that spoil it, okay? And don't bother looking up on Twitter and spoiling it for yourself. That's going to be a meme eventually, bro. That's going to be a huge fucking meme eventually. Go see the movie. Go give this theater, go give this director, go give these actors, go give them your money. Go give them your money. Several actors in this I like. Play more, bit parts. Several actors in this movie I like from other things. Give your money to these people. Give this film your money. As hard-earned as it may be, it deserves it. And I'm telling you, it's not a 10 out of 10, but I'm telling you this film deserves your fucking money. It deserves it. Because I swear to God, dude, This film takes every fucking property that I can no longer stand. It takes everything made by Disney. It takes everything made by DC except for The Dark Knight. It takes everything made by them, you know, the new Batman versus Superman universe, you know, all those movies, maybe with some exceptions. People said Wonder Woman is okay. It takes the Marvel chasing aspect of DC and it throws it in the fucking garbage. And dude, when I walked out of the theater, it was like a breath of fresh air. I was like, oh my God, was this film so refreshing? This film was so fucking refreshing. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it is a breath of fresh air to me. Because I am so sick of mindless explosions, mindless plots, mindless movies, popcorn, horse shit. I'm so sick of it. I want to be a fan of Star Wars. I want to be a fan of DC. I have been since I was a little kid. I hate what they've done to those properties today. This movie, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if there were resignations over this film at DC. I wouldn't be surprised if there was resignations at the studios over this movie. I wouldn't be surprised. I am surprised that there aren't protests on the streets of leftists screaming at the top of their lungs that this movie should be banned. I am surprised because that fucking rant at the end spits in the fucking faces of all of these people. You think I'm exaggerating? Go watch the movie. Go watch the movie and tell me I'm fucking wrong about that rant at the end of the fucking movie. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Tell me that you're not surprised that there aren't protests over this fucking film. Okay? There's a reason why they tried to prevent you from watching this movie. Why all those articles are written? Yeah, clickbait, sure. But I'm telling you, this movie spits in the faces of fucking the Force is female and Harley Quinn and the movie that the WB is also coming out with. It spits in the faces of that mediocre fucking baseline garbage. It is nothing more than a rebuke to all of that shit. This is a real fucking film. This is a real film. It may not be a superhero movie. It is a fucking real film. Unlike everything that I have seen put out by fucking DC, put out by fucking Disney. And I'm not really going to comment on Marvel because Marvel is its own real separate thing. It's not my cup of tea for what I like. Adventure movies are fine. It's not really what I'm looking for. I want grit. I want dirty. I want basically the aesthetic of this film, but just as, you can address the themes. You can address the lore. You can address everything that is Batman in the DC universe in this universe. I love realism. I hate fantasy. Fantasy's fucking fantastic, and Lord of the Rings, it doesn't belong in fucking comic books. Comic books should be grit. They should be realistic. And if you're going to have superpowers, treat them in a realistic manner. Okay? I understand that, have the cartoon aspect of it for kids, but have this for the main people that grew up with this, who are 40-somethings, 30-somethings, 20-somethings, people that are older. With the Star Wars films, young kids don't like Star Wars anymore. They don't care about Star Wars. It's adults that care about Star Wars. And you can talk about Arrested Development, all that sort of thing. That's fine. But know your fucking audience. And I'm telling you that Todd Phillips knows his audience. If he gives a damn at all about this being a comic book film or about the Joker or about Batman or being in the DC universe, if he cares at all about that aspect, which we don't know, if he does, he is the guy to put in the director's chair to make actual fucking movies about this fucking universe. Okay? Get rid of J.J. Abrams, get rid of Nolan, get rid of all these other guys. Yes, Heath Ledger, he carried the film. The rest of it was trash in my view. But Todd Phillips is the kind of director that we should have for this universe. That's what I'm saying here. Okay? I hate Disney. I hate everything that DC has made in the past with the exception of the one film I've already mentioned. I want DC to be this. This is flaws and all. I want this to be what DC makes with their lore, with their franchise, with their universe. This is what I want. So, what are the flaws with the movie? Okay? The flaws. Minor spoiler. Unreliable narrator is you get punched in the nose at the beginning of the movie with unreliable narrator. If you're going to have that storytelling aspect in your film, it has to be subtle. And what's crazy is that in the movie, there are several aspects to it that chase after the idea of No Country for Old Men style subtlety. It's in the film. Why the fuck then do you at the beginning of the movie punch us in the nose with that? With unreliable narrator? It's like, why? It spoils the rest of the fucking movie. And it leaves you questioning, everything about it. And that's not good. I want several aspects of this movie to just be what happened. And the problem with unreliable narrator is who the fuck knows what happened in any of it? Because at the end, it could be anything. It could be anything. Not the ending itself. That looks, by all appearances, real. But everything else that happened. It puts a question as to the rest of the movie. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Especially in the way that you punch you in the nose with it at the very beginning of the film. That's not how you use that. The cliche storytelling aspect, okay? Don't like that aspect of it. Okay, the other complaint. Editing. Editing is a problem at several points in this movie. So here's the one scene. It's not going to be spoiled, but example. 3 people exit. Turn. There's chaos around them. Turn the corner. Guy standing there with the clown mask. Hard cut. That scene should have ended right fucking there. And it goes on. And it's like, yo, dumb editing right there. Dumb, bad editing. Just flat out ineffective in the themes and what's being portrayed. Like what this film is. Bad. In Arkham, the line, what are you laughing at? The answer, I was thinking of a joke. Shows the scene. Great. Then it all works. Hard cut, then you show that scene. Boom, off. Hard cut. Walking in the hallway. Brilliant. Great. But it's that scene and several others that had bad editing. Ineffective editing. So I will say that about the film. I would probably knock a point off for that, for the editing. A full point. So, this movie, in my honest view, is an 8 out of 10. Maybe even a little bit lower. But because this movie is such a fresh breath of air to me. It is like, I literally walked out of the movie refreshed. With a second wind. I said, man, aspects of this movie were so fucking good. The realism, I love this aesthetic. I love it. This is what these fucking awful movies have been missing. The pure grit that has been introduced because of Todd Phillips. Loved it. So, because of that, because of the fact that I left this movie satisfied by it. Satisfied by this being a real fucking film. Not popcorn, summer movie, trash. Corporate trash. Because this movie isn't that, it's getting a 9 out of 10. So that is my lazy review to you. 9 out of 10 for this film. I'm knocking off a full point for the editing that could have been so much more effective. But unfortunately, because of those minor issues, it added up to it. But because of those minor issues, it added up and it pissed me off because I'm like, man, fuck, a more competent editor would have made this movie a fucking masterpiece. But because your editing and the storytelling aspect of unreliable narrator, because you had the combination of the two, I'm taking off a full point to what should be a 10 out of 10. Full point off for those two mistakes. I want to see the director's cut. That's what I want to see. I want to see the director's cut of this fucking movie. Because I think maybe that's where the studio got involved, or focus groups, or a bad editor, or whatever. Maybe that's what happened. And the director's cut's going to be a masterpiece. But I want to see the director's cut of this film. And otherwise, go see it. I'll put it like that. Go see this film. Just for that rant at the end. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe it. Legitimately. I was listening into the theater with the biggest Joker smile on my fucking face. Like, I was like, oh my God, how did this get off the ground? How did this get past the studio? How did this get put into theaters? Because we're in such an awful period of time. And this movie spits in the face of all the people that are ruining our fucking lives. Ruining our lives. And it doesn't matter. I know that people are going to point to certain aspects to this of identity, but I'm saying that male, female, white, black, any aspect, young, old, that rant at the end is not, it is analogous. And I'm telling you that it is social commentary. And I am telling you that it is nothing more than a black pill middle finger to all the people that you and I cannot fucking stand. I know how the film, it speaks to the elites of Gotham. The elites, but no. That is not actually what this film is speaking to. Through my interpretation, with that fucking rant. No fucking way. No, especially to what he speaks to. Because your average elite, it doesn't speak to your random elite from like the 70s. Like, no way. No way does it speak to random elites from the 70s. No, it's talking to the elites from fucking 2019. Absolutely. So that's what I mean. Like, I know it's like, it's analogous to the point where it's not, you can't take it, you can take it literally. Let's put it like this. You can take it literally, but within the film's context, it doesn't actually make sense. But in terms of today's context, holy shit, is it literally applicable to today, right now, in this fucking world. Oh my God! And that's why I'm saying it is the black pill of the fucking new century. Go see this fucking movie. Oh man, that was so great. I love that. And like I say, I am surprised that journos aren't losing their minds. I'm surprised there aren't protests. I'm surprised there aren't people trying to take it out of theaters, ban it. I am surprised that what's happening to the limited degree now isn't 10 times worse. I'm surprised. I'm surprised the SJWs aren't coming after this film with fucking everything they have. And I mean that. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm exaggerating, or I'm just wrong, objectively. And you can feel free to say one way or the other. But I'm telling you, from my position where I'm sitting, fresh out of the theaters, that movie is very applicable to right here and now. It is very applicable. And I'm telling you that last rant with the Joker was an unbelievable black pill. Okay? Unfucking believable. I'm saying that it could have actually been put in theaters today. After all the shit we've seen. After every fucking company, every developer, every fucking writer, every fucking comedian, every fucking person in the world is kowtowing to the progressive hordes. I am amazed that this got put into theaters. Especially now, after the so-called best in the gaming industry are putting social constructivist bullshit that contradicts the lore in, Cyberpunk. That's the reference I'm making. After the biggest chads in the industry cuck out to the left and put utter fucking ideological horseshit in their game, cramming it in despite the fact it makes no fucking sense, it doesn't apply at all, and it's contradictory to the lore, and the guy that's working at the studio who made everything, fuck him. We're just going to put this in the game to appease the 0.001% that have a 40% suicide rate. This film is telling every single fucking one of the people that are responsible for that and everything else that makes life miserable right now, this movie is telling all of those fucking people to die. That is what this movie is doing, and oh my God, is it refreshing to hear? Is it refreshing to see? Is it refreshing for one fucking person to actually make something that is art, that actually speaks to fucking something real? That's the difference between everything that's being pushed out by these corporations and this film. This film speaks to something that is fucking real. So yeah, like I say, I know how I sound. Like I'm saying that this is like a 10 out of 10 film. I'm telling you it's not. I'm telling you this is not a perfect movie. But it is an actual fucking movie. This is an actual piece of art. This is an actual thing that should be seen in theaters. This is an actual piece of cinema. This is something that should be bought and studied and have papers written on it, okay? This is a real goddamn movie. Unlike all the shit that is being shat out by fucking every fucking studio, by every goddamn developer. This is real, and it speaks to something that is true. So yes, go see this movie. I can't begin to tell you how much I emphasize that to you. Go see it. And go see something fucking real. Go see something that speaks to fucking reality. Go see something that's real, and that's what this movie is. This movie is real, unlike everything else that I have seen as of late. All the shit, all the fucking processed garbage that I have seen in the last few years. This is something fucking real. And I'll leave it there for you to ponder. Thanks for listening.